Hey guys, hope you and the families are doing well. I'm going to teach you one of my favorite and easy to learn swing trading setups in this video that I call the trigger bar. Now the trigger bar is an evolution from information that I learned from billionaire hedge fund manager Toby Crabell. Now I learned two main things from Toby Crabell. That is how to trade opening range breakouts, but two, and probably most importantly, is looking for areas of price contraction. Why? Because as he says, from periods of price contraction come price expansion. So it's about looking for those tight areas on the chart. So I'm going to take you through various setups in different types of stocks to show you how to look for these areas of price contraction, what trigger bars look like, where to look for these trigger bars in relation to key daily moving averages. That's going to be really useful. Before we get into it, I'll let you know that Market Surge, today's video sponsor, if you're interested in a discounted trial, then you'll find a link to that in the description and the comment section below. So let's go gadget straight into the video. So what is a trigger bar? Well, a trigger bar, as I'm referencing here with various different stocks, AG, that's a silver stock, Cirrus Logic, AMD, sure you're familiar with that. You've got Pinterest, you've got QMCO, a quantum computing related stock. We've got various ones here, and you can see that I've highlighted a trigger bar. So this is what a trigger bar invariably is. A trigger bar is often a low volume, tight inside day around one or more key daily moving averages. Now the one or more key daily moving averages most commonly are going to be either the 10-day EMA, which is the black line on my chart, the 21-day EMA, which is the blue line on my chart, or the 50-day simple period moving average, which is the purple line on my chart. It doesn't always have to be an inside day, but I like looking for those low volume inside days around one or more key daily moving averages, and I've just said what those one or more key daily moving averages are. A couple of other things as well. I like to see the stock in the context of a strong uptrend. Even better potentially if it's just reported a blowout earnings report or a significant news catalyst and the stock's just made a big move higher. So you can see Pinterest down here, okay, pops up on its earnings like this, and then it tightens into its 10-day EMA. You look at QMCO, look at the volume coming through, okay, news catalyst coming through, you can look at the volume, and then it pulls in and builds this pattern here. We're going to talk about patterns in a second, but I'm looking for leading stocks displaying a lot of relative strength on the daily chart. Cover that in the blueprint video on the YouTube channel. I want to see a lot of relative strength on stocks that I'm looking to target. I want them to be stronger than the indexes. Ideally the theme is strong. So if I'm trading a precious metal miner like AG, okay, I want to see that the group is also strong. So it's a little bit more than just looking for, say, a tight low volume inside bar around one or more key daily moving average. I want to be in the creme de la creme stocks, the strongest stocks in the market, ideally from the strongest theme as well. I cannot understate the importance of relative strength. So we're looking for the strongest stocks in the market displaying a lot of relative strength in the context of an uptrend, and then it could be a pullback or a continuation base is forming. Now continuation bases take the form of many different forms, don't they? You could have a flag, a wedge, a Darvis box, a volatility contraction type pattern where, again, if you think volatility contraction, price volatility contracting, okay, it's kind of the same thing that Toby Crabell was teaching us 30 odd years ago. Okay, from periods of price contraction come price expansion, from periods of price expansion come price contraction. So you're looking for these tight areas on the chart. So what we can see, if we take First Majestic here, okay, the stock is in the context of a nice uptrend, it's above all key daily moving averages on my chart, and then it starts pulling down in this flag type pattern. See, this starts pulling in, so then what you get is a textbook bounce off the 21-day EMA. I've taught you guys how to trade those bounces with Morello's intraday mean reversion longs, but then what you can see here is it nearly goes double inside day. Certainly the second one here is an inside day, and then look how the volume dries up as well. So you then get the volume tapering off as well. So from periods of price contraction come price expansion. If you don't learn anything else from this video, just memorize that. From periods of price contraction come price expansion. From periods of price expansion come price contraction. So just to kind of highlight that and the importance, because this is how the market moves. This is how these stocks move. So you want to realize this, and then you want to observe, okay, what tends to happen before a stock then, or when a stock then goes for a period of price contraction on the daily chart and then expands, what are the common characteristics that you see? Well, this would be a period of price expansion, right? Okay, the share price has just gone from $4.50 up to, let's call it $7. Price expansion. But what's going to follow a period of price expansion, price contraction? So then what happens? Look, price then contracts, and it contracts from left to right, and the tightest bit is right here. See that? If you're really interested in some of this stuff, I'll put the link to the Toby Crabell video on the channel that I did in the comment section somewhere for you, okay? You see this? Price contraction, and then what follows the price contraction? Expansion. See that? If you look at Cyrus Logic, here's the price contraction, and then during the base building part, that's the price contraction. But then what you then have is why I then call it a trigger bar, is where price gets really, really tight, with often tight low volume inside days. So you see this? It then builds this little kind of Darvis box. See that? A kind of Darvis box that gets built in there. Nice what I call shakeout demand tail, gap down reverse bar, and then look, double inside day. Back-to-back inside days with Cyrus Logic, and then look how the volume dries up. And then the stock powers out like this. So you see? Price expansion, price contraction, price expansion. That's how the market moves. That's how stocks move. You'll see this on all time frames, by the way. Okay, you'll see this phenomenon in the market. This is how the market moves. From periods of price contraction come price expansion. From periods of price expansion come contraction. This is just how the market moves. If we take a look at AMD, okay, clear price expansion on the rally up here, and then look, you can see period of price contraction, and then you get the really tight contraction. Again, not quite double inside day, but inside day there, right on the 10-day EMA, and the volume dries up. Look how the volume's just tapered off here in the base. What's that telling you? Selling is drying up. Supply is drying up. If we look at Pinterest here, okay, price expansion around the earnings. Try and draw it better for you. Price expansion, then it pulls in, tight, and then that looks to be nearly a double inside day over here. And look how the volume dries up. You then get the lowest volume bar in the base before the breakout. Look at Cyrus Logic, the lowest volume bar in the base before the breakout. Notice these common characteristics. AMD, this looks to be about the second lowest volume bar in the base before the breakout. QMCO, this was the lowest volume bar, or very close to it. Maybe these ones here as well. And again, this is a trigger bar sitting on the 10-day EMA, but here is a textbook one. And it builds this little kind of cup handle pattern, very volatile because it was a quantum stock. If you see this little cup handle pattern, tight trigger bar. Okay, AMD is kind of like this flaggy type pattern with a big shakeout going on in here, right? AG, similar kind of flag. Cyrus Logic, bit of like a Darvis box going on in there. Pinterest, again, a little Darvis box. So again, you think about Darvis box, okay? I'm sure many of you read Darvis's book. Okay, what did he talk about? Boxes. What were boxes? Price contraction. It's absolutely timeless. So it's just training your eyes to see this. So then in terms of then the entry method, okay, this is what I'm then looking for if I'm trading a trigger bar setup. Often tight low volume inside bars around one or more key daily moving averages. Now you know what they look like, but then in terms of the entry, I can then either target them. So when they're then breaking out through the high of the bar, I could either use what's called a buy stop limit order. So buy stop limit order, that's what Stan Weinstein talks about in his book. It's what Nicholas Darvis talked about in his book, while he was gallivanting and dancing all over the world. Okay, buy stop limit orders. Okay, so you're buying it through the high. That would be a buy stop order. You can then set the limit for how much above that trigger bar you're looking to pay for any shares. Stop loss, then you can attach the stop loss. Maybe you go lower the bar, maybe you give it a little bit more wiggle room underneath, say the 21-day EMA, maybe base lows, depends on your kind of risk profile and tolerance. So you're doing it on the weekly chart, you're doing it on the daily chart, that's going to factor in. Or you could use an opening range breakout. So you're then looking for that really strong action to start coming in, the stock to display a lot of intraday relative strength. Then potentially you're using the 1 minute time frame, the 2 minute time frame, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the 30 minute time frame to then enter the stock on what's called an opening range breakout. Lots of videos on the channel about that. But I'll wrap the video up there, guys. I don't want to make it really long, but just want to help you train your eyes to what do trigger bars look like? How do leading stocks of the day move? What do they tend to do? They can build flags, wedges, pennants, VCPs, Darvis boxes, cup and handles, all of that good stuff, right? But then looking for these trigger bars and understanding how the market moves, how these stocks move from periods of price contraction come price expansion. That's the thing to really get from this video. And then you'll just start seeing them everywhere, basically, when these leading stocks start forming these setups. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for the support on the YouTube channel. And as always, look forward to seeing you in a future video.